Welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today is the Fear the Walking Dead Season 3 Episode 14 review. Now, just a warning, if you watched the full live stream from last night, you already saw this. This is going to be a little bit of new information in the beginning, and then we're going to go into the clip from the live stream. Now, I'm doing it like this because there's a handful of people that maybe they're not hearing it, they're not watching the live streams, but they want the first impression review, and the first impression review is in the live stream. It's in the first 15 to 20 minutes, give or take, depending on how much detail we're going to cover in the episode. But I go over the first impression review in the live stream. So if you want to watch it fresh day one, you can watch the live stream for 20 minutes and then just shut it off. Or for whatever reason, if you don't want to do that, I'm going to do my best to just take the live stream and cut it so you can get the first impression review all by itself separately the next day, which this is what that is. I thought the live stream would be easy enough, but I guess there's people who won't even click on it, but they still want to watch the review even though it's in the live stream. And if you're new to this altogether, during the live stream after show, the rest of the live stream, they are rather long, we go over fan feedback from the comments. So if you want to be active in that, we do it after every Walking Dead episode and Fear the Walking Dead episode, about a half an hour after the episode airs for the first time. Alright, so diving into this, before I start the clip and give my first impression review, I do want to say that I don't think I talked enough about Alicia going balls deep. That ball pit was actually really cool. I like the atmosphere. Now, some of the fighting and camera work kind of pulled me out of the scene, but I do really appreciate the atmosphere, and I kind of hope we get more of that as these characters are scattered in the wind, so to speak. But the ball pit, having a zombie inside there, the slow way they had the balls moving as if it was like a, you know that movie Tremors? As if it was like a little tremor coming up for Alicia. I did like that. Not really sure how the zombie was able to drag her under, but maybe it was the zombie spooked her a bit and she went under, but they had that little altercation there. So I like that atmosphere a lot, and if we could see some more of that, that would be absolutely fantastic. There was also a few different things off and on that I really did like, but I believe I covered it in full detail in this clip coming up. So if I lift anything out, or if you guys want to discuss anything further, or if this is new and you want to see the fan feedback of the full live stream, check that out. That is still on the channel, and I'm going to get going and play the clip now. So thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button or the like button, and I'll see you guys in the next vid. I could talk about my first impression as I do this, sharing the link stuff. So this was another episode that me personally, it was okay. That's pretty much the end of it, though, as far as my interest. Just an okay episode. I like this setup for the next episode, and I think there's a lot that I'm really excited for the next episode. However, it did feel a little rushed, like all of a sudden Strand is here and he's making a deal, and that's going to be the problems. That's the problem. That's why you saw a lot of the war fighting type stuff, the skirmish going on in the trailer, because it seems like Strand is going to start some shit. So diving right into this episode, and then we'll get to what's coming up next, because there's a couple exciting things I like. I'm just going to read what's off my list. Ophelia felt like she died as a red shirt. Now, this could be my fault entirely. It definitely could be my fault entirely, because last week I still can't even picture her getting bit. I know she fell down. The walker was definitely on her shoulder, but it was such a quick moment, and I really thought they were going to flesh her out a good deal more before they would do anything like kill the character off. Now, I'm fine with her dying as long as it does something for Daniel's character. I'm absolutely fine with that. And I want it to do something for Daniel's character. So I'm interested in seeing that progress, but I kind of feel like Ophelia is a character that's been here since, since the first season, since shit, like episode 2 or something. And I kind of feel like her death was more like a red shirt death. It wasn't shocking. It wasn't like shock and awe, but at the same time, it wasn't done in a way where it leaves a lasting impression. This kind of death I can see in 5 years, 10 years, kind of forgetting how the character dies. You ever watch a movie and you're like, that was a good movie, but certain aspects are so forgettable you don't even, wait, how did that character die again? That's what I get from Ophelia's death. I would have liked to see her go on a little longer, but they're trimming the fat, and normally I'd say that's a good thing. Let's focus on a small set of characters. However, They seem to be adding characters as well, so I don't know if this is going to be a situation where we think it's trimming the fat. However, they're just adding characters and getting rid of some. So the next thing I have on the list is, I gotta agree with Strand. When Strand was telling off Madison, I definitely have to agree with him, and he was definitely, especially in this episode, just with that one line, working his way up the list as a character, because I really like Strand. I think Daniel's my new favorite. He's an actor who's very charismatic. I've liked the actor since for a long time now in random different smaller roles. So I'm really excited to see his story continue. I really hope that Strand betraying Daniel's kindness doesn't end up getting him killed in the upcoming episode. I really hope so, because I know the showrunner said towards the end of the season there was going to be a death where some people might be like, oh my god, you know, either oh my god or oh that was your last like big boom before you left the show, something similar to that. And it might be Ophelia's death. However, I kind of feel like that would be underwhelming if that was the big controversial death for the end of the season. However, that could have been overhype. You know what I mean? What he was saying in that interview might have been overhype. One thing, the pickaxe. This is a positive and a negative for me. The girl with the pickaxe, love it. Love the pickaxe. This is a different weapon, new interesting weapon. We got a character with a signature weapon. You know, she's only in it for a little bit, but love the idea. But what do they do to destroy the tension and, in my opinion, the coolness of having the pickaxe? Is it a pickaxe? It's a pick, right? It's just a pick. Anyway, what do they do? Well, they give her a foam prop pick to use on the walkers, and she's just one-handed swinging that bitch around. And I purposefully waited to see it up close to make sure it's like a legit pick that I've dealt with in my life. I haven't done any farming, but I have picked up one of those numerous times doing some construction work. You get that if you're doing demolition and stuff. There's some times where I took a pickaxe and I was tearing up something. I don't know. And they got some weight to them. They got some serious weight to them, especially if you're not used to it. Like the chick didn't seem like she was this big, beefy, you know, muscle-bound Cretan. You know what I mean? So she was whipping that thing around. And this is why I say it steals the tension. If you get this weapon, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Want to, you know, I like that, because now you could do some neat, interesting things with it. But you increase the tension instead of having her just kill, you know, 5 walkers in 3 seconds because it's so lightweight. You actually have to be strategic with your hits. You know, hit this one, okay, push this one away. Use a knife on this one, yank it out. You know, hit it with the butt end, swing it around. Show the weight, the skill with that. I just, all my excitement went up all of a sudden, and then it just was like a deflated balloon when the scene gave way to ridiculous action with this incredibly lightweight pickaxe that she had. And I know I'm lingering on the pick. I don't know why I keep calling it a pickaxe. I really don't know what it's called except for a pick. And I don't know why I'm lingering on it this long, except for I was so friggin' excited when she first started using that. I was like, this is going to be good. But again, I think that is important to me. Having something that is realistic and it shows the real problems where one mistake or one, like if you don't attack the right way or maybe make the right call during an attack, it's game over for your ass. And I think for me that builds up a lot of tension, and the scene was just lost with that. Anyway, moving on. I was a little conflicted with Ophelia dying right before Daniel got there, only because it was like it was staged. Like, oh, she's talking. As soon as she said, "Tell my father," I was like, yeah, she's going to die before he gets there, and that's how TV always does it. And then she did die, and it was almost instant. And he shows up, and I was really disappointed with the conflict. You know, go away or I'll kill you. And immediately I knew. I think us, as we're watching TV now, we're picking up on all this stuff that Hollywood in general does constantly. They don't want the scene to continue. They want him to go off and mourn, so they just get him mad temporarily so Madison can leave. And I don't know. I felt like the scene could have been handled a different way. I also thought it was too dark, and you had a lot of emotion there, which was good. I was digging the emotion. And if we're going to have this character death connected to Daniel, I was really interested in watching that emotion play out. So that's something I was looking forward to. However, the darkness of the scene kind of really took away the emotions of it. I know, at least for me, I did have some lights on, so you know, when you're watching a dark scene in a lit room, it's not as visual. You know, you don't see as much as if you shut off the lights and stuff like that. So, excuse me, I'm dying. That was also a scene that had some good stuff in it, and I was just sitting down, chilling, watching the show, getting a little tired watching Fear the Walking Dead, and I'm kind of like just mellow now. I need some pig brain stems or something. Imagine that, doing a review. Come on, fuckers! Oh yeah. What is this? White grape cherry. That's racist. So the painkiller high. This always pisses me off, and this isn't even with Fear the Walking Dead. This is with all of Hollywood. Stop showing people getting high like it's blur the camera, vibrate the this and that. And it was just painkillers at first, right? That is not how you get high off of painkillers. It just makes you feel really good. Like everything is fucking awesome. You know, I don't know. I do appreciate that they were trying to show that. Again, this is another scene where I wish they would have just did something visual. Made the different brightness in the rooms a little bit different. Like have the contrast to where the color is really vibrant and it pops and it looks different. You still have the darkness. This is where I would have liked them to play around with something like that instead of just going with the cliche echoey and you guys know that scene. I didn't like it all. I do like one thing I loved, and I wanted more of this, and I wanted to explore this in a different way. The partying, throwing parties and bonding and doing drugs and drinking and just all of that, like everything connected, just hanging out, having a good time in the apocalypse, the way it's set up with this marketplace, and just, there's part of me that for a moment I was thinking, man, okay, and I'm not saying that's what the whole show should be about or the whole, plot line for half a season, but there's something there. I felt something in that moment where I'm like, man, this can go an interesting direction or have an interesting background or an atmosphere. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. Have a very interesting atmosphere for these characters. There was moments there where I was really liking that. So I kind of want to revisit that in some ways. And keep in mind, I don't just mean have Troy and Nick getting drunk and getting high and and that's it the entire time. But I do mean that bonding and maybe even not getting in trouble, but kind of maybe they run out, kind of steal this or spy on this or manipulate this so you can get certain deals done. Use the environment to meet new characters and go up the ladder of success, so to speak, in the marketplace, and just survival within that marketplace. And that parting was a good jumping off point, in my opinion, for what could come out of this. So I did like that. I feel like this might be a one-time thing, though. They had the party, and then Nick walks away, and he's like, I can't be with my mother. Which, again, is stuff that I'm getting sick of hearing, because we don't really see Madison do shit that... and I know a lot of us get frustrated with Madison. I'm in the same boat. But has anyone else gotten suspect at Alicia and Nick starting to go, nah, I can't be near my mom? And then when you watch it, you don't really pick up on what she's actually doing to drive them away. I get stuff in the past. Yeah, sure, we can't even see what happened in the past, and they can make anything up. But while she's there in these communities with them, she's making these different calls. Like on the ranch, there's a lot of calls she made that I don't agree with. But I really wish they would have connected to kids in a way where we can see how it affects them. And when they say they need their space away from their mom, we were like, yeah. Instead of us being frustrated with the character and saying, yeah, have that connection where we feel sympathetic to the kids and whoop-de-whoop. I didn't really care about Nick staying back because, again, and I don't know if this is just the way it was set up, but the moment Strand said, I got a deal for Proctor John or whoever, and I was like, okay, it's the dam. He's giving up the dam because now they don't have their leverage with Ophelia and all that. And he was just bitching at Madison, so he's giving up the dam. And then on top of that, Nick is staying at the dam. You're starting to put the pieces together. Nick's at the dam. The dam is getting ready to... I'm sorry. Nick is at the marketplace. You know, he's staying at the marketplace. Strand made a deal with the marketplace to attack the dam. So Nick's going to overhear or see or find out or know. Chances are it's going to be Troy, because I think in the trailer, Troy said, your mom's in danger. So they're going to find out about it and then probably go and try to intervene. It's going to be too late. And then that's going to be the whole fiasco going down. So when he said he wanted to stay behind, I wasn't annoyed like I was with Alicia. That's because I figured, okay, this is a plot thing for the dam. So, but again, I was for a moment thinking, man, this could be an interesting direction to take, where the mom is just like destroyed by her kids just not wanting to have anything to do with her. For a moment there, I was like, man, this could get really good in a dark way. I mean, that's a crushing blow. Your kids don't even want to be near you. You know what I mean? That's gotta mess you up. So I'm kind of excited to see if that goes in a direction. I feel like, if anything, there just might be a slim chance they would kill Madison in the finale. Like, that would be the big ba-boom. Because think about it. If you follow her, her trajectory, I tried to use that word and I failed. If you follow this path she's on, you know, she starts out like she's the leader, or at least, you know, she's the mother, you know, mother hen, mother wolf protecting her cubs and stuff. But she's with Travis. She's sharing that. Like a co-leader, you know, and then, you know, Travis dies. Well, she does all this stuff. Travis dies, and then she's propelled even further. She's trying to make the choices, but they seem to be falling apart either directly by the choices she makes, or when she makes good choices and it actually works out for her, other stuff out of her control starts messing with her plans, and then stuff starts falling through. And now Alicia, which was the kid that's always reliable, always next to her, she can always trust Alicia. She's always around, always there. And that's one of Alicia's, in the season 1, Alicia wanted to leave. She wanted to go, you know. So Alicia bounces. She's like, I'm out of here. And then now we get the Nick, the son, to be like, yeah, I don't want to be around my mom. And now we got a girl who's at the dam, a mother who's at the dam, lost her 2 sons, communities, everywhere she goes, everything's crumbling, falling apart, and now she would lose her life. Her story would end at the dam. I don't know, there's something there, but again, there's a big part of me that's saying, I don't know, I don't think Fear the Walking Dead is ready to clip away any more characters. Okay, so Nick, Troy, and the Walkers, I really don't know about this scene at all. I think it passes. I think there's some people that are going to like this. I think there's some people that are going to really like this episode. There's, at the very least, you can say, yeah, this is an okay episode. But when it comes to the Walker scene, I just couldn't help feeling like we got like a 5 out of 10. And it really should have been like an 8 out of 10. We really should have had, get rid of that bullshit. They're high. We get it. They're high. We don't need to be force-fed with this blurry echo-ness. But Nick and Troy come along and they find this zombie, and I love this idea where, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Troy doesn't know about the camouflage yet, right? I don't know. I'm drawing a blank on that. But just imagine if they fuck off with the blurry bullshit, and Nick gets that walker and he rips open his head, and Nick's drenching it, but actually drenching himself in the blood and guts, because in the show he kind of goes, okay, coat it real good, and then he's like out of there, and I'm like, wait, Nick, you forgot to coat yourself, bro. So, you know, so he's coating himself, and Troy's kind of like, what? You know? And then he puts a little blood on Troy, and he starts walking away, and then Troy goes ahead and coats himself. And, you know, Nick is walking, and the camera would just stay the fuck still for a moment and watch as the zombies engulf Nick, and then Troy's just like, holy damn, what? Like, is this real life? And then Troy then breaks his moment, being stuck and frozen in fear, and you know, he's fear of the unknown, and that the walkers obviously. And then he starts walking forward, and he enters the herd himself. I think that would have been outstanding symbolism. And keep in mind, they did do something similar to that, but that fucking editing with the camera all over the place, and showing Troy when you should be showing Nick getting swarmed with the zombies and going around him. I felt like that would have been great symbolism for Nick going into the shit, you know, and Troy being hesitant and just whatever. After they're having these bond, like they had a volatile meeting, you know, introduction, and then they're growing this twisted bond that we just don't understand. And now they're actually growing a bond where they essentially are connected because they're the only person that the other one knows, really. You know, they're in this marketplace. They don't know anyone. So they're building this connection based on, you know, I know this person. You know, I've been through a little bit with this person. And then he follows Nick into the shit. I don't know. There was something about that symbolism that I was like, I really wish they could have hit a home run with this scene. And then they did some hug and bromance stuff. I did like Nick being like, whispering to the walkers. I love that. I fucking love the shit out of that. Where he's like, I don't want to be around her. I really wish that scene got a little once-over polish, where instead of beating us in the head with, you know, I don't want to go with her, don't want to be with her, we get it. He could have said something a little more subtle, clever about being like, you know, anything except for the going, leaving, staying, separation, but just express something like, you know, my mom fries my nerves, bro. You know, I'm taking a break. This is my vacation. Doing anything, literally anything, except for the obvious spoon feeding dialogue. So that was a scene that I don't know if I like or hate right now, because while I was watching it, I was getting this vibe of the symbolism, but I was also being interrupted with some of the editing and the choices for the camera angles and stuff like that. So I thought they were heading to a strong place, and it just didn't fall through so much. And Strand making the deal, this kind of pisses me off, and this will be my final point, and then we'll dive into fan feedback here in a second. But Strand making the deal really pissed me off. Daniel didn't have to bring them in, and yeah, Daniel was pissed at him before. There was some bad mojo going on between those two. Strand was a lying piece of shit from the beginning, you know, and then he started building the connection with the group, and we realized it wasn't such a bad lie. He had somebody that he loved, he was trying to get to, and he was afraid people were going to bring him down. Obviously, that's a logical thing to be afraid of, especially in a zombie apocalypse. So it was easy for Strand's character to build a redemption story. However, once you start getting to this point where, and I'll be honest right now, if you guys can help me out here, I'm drawing a blank on why the hell Strand and Danny Boy don't like each other. I get where Strand lied about Ophelia, but what about before that? Because I think they had a moment. I don't know, what was that? Am I having I'm stroking out, guys. I think he had a moment on the ranch, not the ranch, the other ranch, the first ranch, the compound. That's what it was called. He had a moment on the compound where they had a little back and forth, and Strand was like, Danny, listen, you know, or no, it was Danny telling him, don't bury him, this place is evil. I thought they had kind of like a little moment, and there wasn't a lot of negativity going on, so there had to have been something that I'm forgetting. But Strand, totally, I like Strand. He's probably my second favorite, you know, and if he's betraying the dam and all that, he feels like a sleazeball, and I know he's a hustling, you know, steal, but they made it seem like he stole, but he was going to pay it back, so he's a sleazeball, but at least he's not a complete degenerate. He won't cripple you, take every, you know, you won't rob an old lady type. I mean, borderline sleazeball. But I really hated that. Danny did not have to take them in, especially after Ophelia was dead. And they didn't bring what they said they were going to bring. And they don't need the water they said they were going to need. They went out of their way. They went, you know, nuts making this deal happen. Now the deal fell through. And Strand is going to betray them all at the dam. It just really makes me hate Strand. Unless he's playing Proctor John, which could be a possibility. But that's a dangerous possibility, you know? So, yeah, that is it. Again, in overall, I'm going to get to the super chat in one moment, but I'll remember, Alan. I'm going to get there. But overall, again, it was an okay episode. It is most likely not going to be an episode I'm going to rewatch anytime soon, probably. It's just, it's okay for a first viewing in my book. Probably somewhere around a 5.5 out of 10, maybe a 6 out of 10. But again, even though these are for me, and I do need to make this clear because I keep seeing it in the comments section, and I know, especially if I bitch and complain about an episode, it's easy to be like, oh yeah, Ronnie hated it. Well, there's a difference between thinking it's just, it's okay, it's acceptable, it's an acceptable zombie thing, and being like Resident Evil, like I straight up hate it. I think it is trash. It is an embarrassment, you know. I would love to direct a movie. I would never allow anyone to even give me a free credit on Resident Evil. Be like, listen, Ronnie, this would help your career. You went from not knowing shit to having a free credit. We'll even say you're the writer, director. We'll give you all that. I would say, please don't. Like, that's how much damn, I hate it. Like, I'll come straight out and tell you. With Fear the Walking Dead, it is way, I mean, leagues above Resident Evil, just because that is just some corny ass shit. But again, it's not something I hate, but it's not something I love. Like, I probably won't be buying a Blu-ray, probably won't be rewatching it on Netflix. You know, I won't be diving deep and analyzing it. You know, I don't know. You know, I don't know. Maybe I will for different reasons, but it's just okay. 5.5 out of 10. All right, so that's pretty much it for the first impression review. If you're only here for that, you can bounce out now and you won't miss anything except for the fan feedback. If you're interested in what you guys have to say and my thoughts and opinions based on your comments, stay tuned. We're going to dive into your thoughts and opinions. And again, if you want to continue watching the full live stream, just click on the videos tab and then find the Fear the Walking Dead video that's right before this one. And also let me know how this works out, pulling the first impression review from the live stream and uploading it separate. Maybe once in a while I can even upload some additional thoughts. If you're one of the people that don't want to watch the live stream, even if the first impression review is still separate within the live stream, let me know how this works out better for you. If this is something that's really liked, we'll try to keep this going. If it's not, we will probably just stop it if it's just wasting our time. As far as the Walking Dead TV show, we are not doing the same thing with the Walking Dead. We will not be pulling the first impression review out of it, chances are. We might, if that's something you guys really like. And the reason is because with the Walking Dead, we do in-depth reviews. So for The Walking Dead, we'll have a live stream immediately after, so we can chit-chat as a fan base, and then a day or two later, depending on how long it takes to edit it, I'm going to make a separate, completely different, in-depth review for the episode. Thanks again, guys, and I appreciate the support. Put your thoughts and opinions in the comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn.